Guys, I made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it turns out that I got Candy Milo, who is alive. I didn't realize that. And Christine Cavanaugh, who did the voice of Chucky in Rugrats, confused. She's the one who died in 2014, not Candy Milo. I am so sorry.
Now my heart hurts even more.
I know.
Chucky, no.
And Gosling.
And Gosling.
And Dexter, I believe.
Yeah,
No,
Dexter too.
well, the original Dexter, yes.
Oh yeah, the original Dexter.
Now my heart even hurts more. God damn it, Jordy.
I didn't mean to bring death and decay in this video. Oh, wait.
It's the theme of the game.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
No kidding.
That's a quick combo.
If only all wasps could be dealt like that.
I wish.
I would not want to shrink down to their size and engage in sword combat with them.
Worst case scenario, they grow to our size.
Actually,
that'd be horrible.
Since you brought that up, I know it's a completely different insect, but just bringing it up just brings to mind the quote. It's like, why don't you tell our pal Dong what you said to us at the circus today?
Oh, so these are new. Oh, real quick. This is I have no idea what that's from, but these are samurai ink wasps. These things, they're like the bolt flies from the first area, where they'll spawn infinitely unless I take out their nests, which are these little ink stones.
Oh,
gotcha.
Yeah, they are wasps made of ink.
I feel like there's another enemy I can compare to that from another game. I'm just blanking on which game.
I feel like I should know the answer to that too, but I don't.
No worries.
Then again, shadowy creatures really aren't that much different from each other, depending on the game.
They remind me a little bit of the blotlings from Epic Mickey.
They kind of do.
Kind of, yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny that you bring that up, because just for craps and chuckles, I was going through behind the voice actors, like going through random pages, and apparently one of their more updated pages was for both of the Epic Mickey games. Well, I say both because they didn't include Power of Illusion on their update list.
That's fair. Considering the fact that game was most of the voice samples in that game are mostly from the Mickey characters, namely Mickey, Oswald, Donald, and Goofy.
Was it just like archived clips then?
I think they might have been archived.
Gotcha.
I know, yeah, Mickey's was definitely archived.
And what's funny is that, like, I was going through the two of them, and it's like, apparently both the Doctor and, like, I knew that they did, I'm trying to say, I knew they had different actors between the two of them, but I was kind of surprised with the two different actors that they had for both the Mad Doctor and, Gus, Gremlin Gus. Like, for example, with the Doctor in the first game, he's David Wintman, and then in the second one, he's Jim Mickinson. And then with Gremlin Gus, in the second game, he's voiced by, of all people, Carrie Elwes.
Okay, I'm back. My mom needed me to do something.
No problem. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Anyway, for context hype, who exactly is this person who voiced Gus in the second game?
Carrie Elwes, he's a pretty famous, like, on-screen actor, voiced in a few characters. As far as, like, voiceover work goes, I know he's probably done other voice work, but the only one that comes immediately to mind was that he was Aquaman in the Flashpoint Paradox movie.
What happened to Alice's skirt? It disappeared.
Oh god, you're right.
Her whole fucking stomach disappeared.
Her whole torso disappeared.
Naked.
So I learned late. So actually, yeah, good. I learned later this was a glitch, and I had to actually it was just a random loading glitch, and in a bit I fix it by saving and quitting and reloading the game.
Only in Wonderland,
where you can become waste free.
The game is. Goodness me. The game is, I mean, this isn't too unlike. She's basically almost like the Cheshire Cat.
I'm sorry.
That was the point where I realized that was the point I realized, like, oh crap, I'm invisible.
You know what? It's like, is it considered a mid-drift if there's no middle section to be drifting?
Go ahead, James.
I've heard of no guts, no glory, but this is ridiculous.
Oh my god, you're right.
And then Jordy, can you say I'm not all here? I'm not all there either.
I'm not all here, but I'm not all there either.
I think that's the quote from the Cheshire Cat in the actual
animated
movie.
Oh, that's right. It was.
That was it. Thank you. Now I forget his name, but I don't think it was Jim Cummings originally. It was whoever voiced Pooh.
It was Sterling Holloway.
Yeah.
I love that
I
guy.
believe-
He did really good voice work back in the day.
Who I believe voiced Winnie the Pooh originally.
He
Yeah,
voiced
he
Winnie
was-
the Pooh originally, and he was the original voice for Ka as well.
Yes,
I mean, granted,
and-
the
That was
exact,
it.
granted, he used the exact same Devil Damn voice for all three of them, but it was still
Well,
pretty
that's what made
endearing.
There
yeah,
were
that's
still
what made
like, different variations of it.
Oh, I also remember he was the voice in Three Caballeros who narrated the story of Pablo the Penguin.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah,
The penguin who wanted to stay warm.
and for those who have seen The Aristocats, which is one of my favorite Disney movies, he was the voice of the Mouse Rover.
Oh, you know what he was? I
yeah.
remember that now. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I know a
the
lot of
mid-
people are really.
Oh.
Oh boy. I was about to say, I know. Oh, there's-
Just made it.
I was about to say, I know most
There, I
people
got
are
my skirt
kind of.
back.
Oh.
I know most people are kind of iffy about aristocrats.
Aristocats.
Yeah, I know most people are a little iffy towards it. I'm not gonna lie, I do have like a sort of a fondness to it, mainly because I think of that era of I think out of all of that era of Disney films, it was probably the first one of those movies I've ever seen growing up.
I remember liking some of it. I remembered I remembered some of the story like not really understanding a lot of it. That was a bit of a dickish position. Sorry, that was a bit of a jerk position to spawn him in. But anyway, like I remember a lot of the story not really going over my I remember a lot of the story going over my head. Like I remember as a kid, I only cared about the songs.
Yeah.
And
Same here.
so the whole subplot of wow, not gonna lie, it's still kind of a dick move. The lady entrusted all of her value not to the butler who's been taking care of her for years, but to her 3 cats.
Cat
Well,
scratch, cat scratch, cat scratch.
You know,
Ah,
speaking of those cats from Aristocats, just recently in news, a cat named Duchess did give birth to the exact same 3 kittens as in the movie.
Yeah, the exact same 3.
really?
Yeah, the exact same 3 breeds. Like it's happening in real life. That prophecy.
The prophecy
Kind
has
of-
been
it's
foretold.
kind of adorable,
Disney is
I'm not
ruling
gonna lie.
over.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this just in: the Aristocats live-action movie is now underway.
Oh my god.
Within honestly, I bet you that they're gonna like go to that owner like, we will pay you $9 million.
And you know what?
For those
Considering
kittens.
it's one of the least liked Disney animated films out there, I feel like people probably wouldn't be quite as pissy if they remade it. They'll still be
Yeah.
pissy because, you know, Disney remakes, you're required by law to be pissy about it. They just won't be as pissy.
Just wait until
Like-
like a week. Just wait until like a news story that a week from now. That a week from now, a group of cats are going to tear apart an inner city building by dancing too hard.
Oh my gosh, that'll be beautiful.
That happens in the movie. They start dancing
Yes.
so hard that they freaking
I
cause
remember that.
the structure of the
Hey, at least
building to
if they
demolish.
do make that, I hope it's gonna be better than the movie Cats that they're making.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess we
Actually,
can talk about that.
You know what? Speaking of Aristocats, since you brought that up, that's also another thing I remember really liking about it. It had some really good voice acting. And I love the actors they had in it as well. Like they had, I forget the guy's name, but the original actor of Baloo, he voiced O'Malley, and they even have Scatman Crothers.
Then die. Come on. Die, you freaking big wasp. Okay. Just get some raid or something. I don't know.
Wasps, they tend to be more immune to raid. If you had my mom on standby, she could smack them away because she's immune to wasp stings.
I once saw
man.
Yeah, she's a tough woman.
I once heard of a kid who as a power move in like summer camp or whatever, like when a wasp arrived, he pinched and caught the wasp in midair.
What
Wow.
the hell?
Oh God.
And everybody was, including the freaking counselors, were intimidated by him for the rest of the trip.
And they were like, and they were all like, "Teach me your ways, Sensei."
No.
No.
He's plucked the wasp from the meadow. He's the true king of England.
He's also a practitioner in the Hado arts.
Hoy.
Ha.
What?
So yeah, let's see
Just
if I can
hoy.
go here.
Boy.
Hoy.
Boy.
And all this ivory and all this, the stuff, the porcelain place is so cool, and then we get to one that's all jade. It's cool. I'll admit, I visited China before. I have not gone to Japan yet. I would like to, but the culture and stuff does interest me.
It really does.
It is interesting.
Devil damn it, that song's stuck in my head now.
Everybody.
What? Everybody wants to be a cat.
Yes.
And
You
then
know,
you just- and
another Another one, I will say also about that song, because Logan kind of got me more into it. Like, I liked it fine, but he got me to respect it more. Someone made, like, a really good electro swing remix of that song.
I remember hearing that, yes!
It is fun.
And same for I Want to Be Like You.
And then you see the Cheshire Cat there, and he's just like, funds are running a little bit short this month. I needed to make the rent.
I am so deeply sorry, but the stupidest image just popped up in my head. If one of the three kittens in that movie was replaced with this Cheshire Cat.
Oh no, not Berlioz!
Like,
you know what?
Just from what left to right, like cat, mangy, like dog looking thing.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? I'm just, now that you say that, I'm just imagining a bit of the dialogue. It's like, because I'm a lady, that's why. You're nothing but a mangy sister.
Okay, time for backstory.
Okay. No
Back
more
into-
talk about cats.
Now we sing Hellfire.
Whoosh. Alright, so what other part of our memory can we recall?
Let's see.
So, yeah. No, the fire was stoked, the fire was put out, Cat was upstairs with us, so they couldn't have thrown
Dinah saved my life. I survived because
Speaking of
showed me how
cats.
to escape.
Oh?
I didn't leave the lamp in the library, and Dinah didn't knock it over.
Really?
The lamp and Dinah
Dinah?
were upstairs when I went to bed. Dinah was in the room with me when the fire started.
Meaning the cat didn't knock over the lamp starting the fire.
So
Yeah.
the opening of the first game was a lie.
I'll get to that right now. One thing that I think is a bit odd is, I think that this game, like,
Retcons?
a lot, and I feel like there could have been a better way they could have made because they're leading up to something that's pretty big, which I can totally buy as being what happened, but at the same time, I also probably would have accepted if it was a better blend. Like, what if something had scared the cat and it's something that intentionally led to it happening?
Actually,
Not the origami ant monks.
Oh, come
come on.
on.
Come
Stop
on.
beating them up.
They're all There's really nothing to gain from just beating them up like that. They're all hollow anyway.
anyway,
nothing
just
but
What
going
do you
back
got
to...
against cardboard people?
Anyway,
They're cardboard. There's literally nothing inside them.
Anyway, just going back to like that whole issue of retconning, like, I'll take your word for it that it builds up to something interesting. One thing that I have against it is that, like, was there really a reason to retcon what happened in the first game?
No, that's what I'm explaining. Like, okay, so I'm just gonna kind of tiptoe around it. A spoiler. By the way, we have to ring these bells to open the door, so a heads up for another random Guitar Hero section.
Oh joy!
Alrighty.
And yes, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Bring out the hippo in the geisha outfit.
Bring out the
Come on,
mariachi band.
Let's beat that high score on Trogdor. Which, by the way,
geez,
speaking of that,
it
I'm
is
not
an
sure
actual
if you
Guitar
saw
Hero
it,
song.
Logan, but recently the brothers Chapman actually released, like, an extended version of Trogdor not long ago, and it makes me wonder that, like, I forget who said it, but some person's like, does that mean we have to update the world record now that there's, like, a more full version of the song out there?
That's not mariachi.
Yeah, because it wasn't an actual song on Guitar Hero 3, I believe, or maybe it was Guitar Hero 2.
I think
It was Guitar
two.
Hero. It was 2, yeah, because I remember my brother and I got that game first.
Yeah,
that was one of
Trogdor there was an actual Trogdor song on Guitar Hero 2. And the Thatch Roof Cottages!
I just realized the yin-yang symbol on those doors are fish.
Of course.
Yes, they
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's
They're
all
great.
like... But yeah, what was I thinking? So what else was I thinking?
You can talk about, like, the unnecessariness of retconning.
So, oh geez. So we're gonna learn later that the fire was very much an
Deliberate?
intentional thing. Something caused it deliberately, and it wasn't just an accident like what the opening of the first game made it out to seem. However, rather than having it be that Alice just misremembered it the whole time, like, because I guess you could then consider that the opening to the first game is just her memory of it. I don't know. But rather than having it be like that, like, I could have seen it more like, hey, as opposed to the cat just accidentally knocking the lamp over, what if it was like someone like deliberately like scared the cat into knocking the lamp over. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I could have seen a better way of meshing the two together,
Actually-
so that you could have the motivations of the sequel while keeping the consistency with the first game.
I will say maybe one theory I have in mind, which granted it could shoot what the second one's trying to do in the foot, so forgive me if I'm being a bit too presumptuous. But I think one thing you could do is that like you can still have like the explanation from the first game, but what it actually is kind of like Alice's mind trying to like come up with a reason to cope with her survival guilt.
I mean, I can see it. Like again, like it could be like she's just trying to think that it's an accident. I don't know. Like it could. But yeah, again, like I just. There could have been a better way than just outright retconning it, but I still like.
I mean, at the same time, though, I guess her misremembering the events isn't like the worst thing in the world. Considering the fact that, well, again, her mind's pretty much fucked at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Just something obfuscating the truth, like her mind blocking it
But
out.
Wonderland is hiding the true reason behind its existence.
Just
Which
like
again,
how it
I
made
like-
us disappear our waste.
Which again, that's why I like that. That's why I like out. That's what I like about Wonderland working like an extended metaphor, where it may not actually exist, but it's like this is to represent her trying to like herself, like whatever the word is. Like she's trying. She's trying to like She's trying to be self-sufficient
my
and
knees.
stick the landing. And then Cheshire Cat just shows up and holds up a a card that
He has
says
a
number
card.
9 on it.
10.
9 out of 10.
He's just like,
And-
nah.
It's like, was this your card?
So yeah, welcome to more of the porcelain area. Anyway, just
boy.
get out of here, Slytherin guys.
More ruins.
But yeah, all the Slytherin ruin, all the ruins, all the day, all the
You
yeah.
can't get it.
Shadow of Blood continues to fester.
Yeesh.
God, that was okay, but Epic Mickey aside, with like how it dealt with like. Okay, so the morality system in that game is kind of,
Useless?
kindergarten-esque. It's very like.
It was very arbitrary.
Yeah, and it's very like you must be 100% good or 100% bad to get, and then it's this odd thing of like some side quests only unlock if you're bad, and some only unlock if you're being good, and you need like a strategy guide like that. Like again, just straight up, I remember when I did my Let's Play of it on my channel. First off, I did it because at the time of when I was recording that game, there was only one other Let's Play of that anywhere on YouTube. And it was by it was by a guy who sounded like he was recording it in an air hangar, where it was super. Okay, so now, and it's like,
Captain, will you turn off the engines? I'm trying to go through the Mickey Wasteland.
I'm
I like to imagine.
I'm honestly surprised there are more Let's Plays of that Epic Mickey because yeah, I mean it's not.
This was way back. This was way back when.
Oh, that's fair. I was about to say it's not a great game by any stretch, but there's a lot to talk about with it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to talk about with it. Like, there's this one guy I used to watch on YouTube. I forgot his name. No, not Matt Pat.
No.
What was his name? Electric Dragon. Yeah, his name was also Matt. But anyway, he did like a series of videos called the Epic Mickey Files, where he delved into like certain character profiles and how they originated from. Like, for example, Oswald and Yen Sid, and it was really interesting.
It's cool.
I mean, hey, give kudos to Epic Mickey. It definitely made Oswald relevant again to a point where now he's getting his own show.
Yeah.
Yes, I love
I'm really
Oswald.
Curious, like, I know this is like just random speculation, but I guess I can probably ask. Like, say for the sake of argument, they decide to have someone other than Frank Welker voice him. Who do you think they would get instead?
Rob Paulson?
Ooh, that's a good question. Who?
I mean,
I said
Rob
Rob Paulson.
Honestly,
Oh,
I feel like
Paulson.
this would.
Yeah.
I mean, he could work. I was about to say this could be considered typecasting, but I honestly could see Ben Schwartz in the role.
Yeah, that'd be
Maybe.
funny. Honestly, what I would be interested in, and I know he can pull it off because he has surprising range, get the actor that voiced Mickey in the Mickey shorts.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Mickey plays as Oswald.
Oh no,
Inception.
I mean, say what you will about Mickey and the Mickey shorts, like that. The dude that voices him does have some pretty sick range.
He does.
He
Yeah,
does.
like not even just as Mickey, but what's up?
No, I was trying
okay.
to.
I was about to
I was
say.
trying to. I was trying to represent his range, and then he
Okay.
does that. He does.
Well, I was about to say it's like not even just as Mickey, but just like as a lot of characters. Like take into account Mickey in those
weird
shorts. He's voiced Green Arrow in a number of things, like he voiced him in Justice League Action. And he's the guy that voices Darkwing in the DuckTales reboot.
Oh, really?
Dang.
So from here,
he voices one of the Darkwings, but that's going into detail will kind of spoil things.
Oh, okay.
The fact that you just said like a plural already spoils so much. But I was gonna say, so from here on out, I now have only one upgrade each for each weapon left. And again, we're only like in the 3rd chapter out of 5. So yeah, they do a decent job of giving you some leniency with the teeth. Like I thought it was gonna be something where you have to get everything right in order to upgrade everything. No, they're pretty good about it.
Well, hey, it just also goes to show we're pretty much at the halfway point by now.
Yay!
Oh yeah. But yeah, what was I gonna say? You're
Something
saying
about-
that
Something about about Mickey.
for some reason, part of me was wanting it to be Martinet.
Charles
Martinet.
Martinet.
Actually, I could. Honestly, maybe I could see that work.
Like if he used a voice similar to the voice that he used, like if he used a voice similar to what he used for the dragon in Reader Rabbit 2, but not with as eloquent a accent.
Sir Grace's dragon.
So basically,
like
what
if-
he did for the Cat in the Hat.
I guess just again, like I feel like with that tone of voice, given good direction on Oswald's personality, I think he could pull it off.
I mean, yeah, all things considered, it would be pretty interesting casting.
Yeah. He disappeared!
I mean,
Ready?
Where the fuck?
Where'd he go?
He disappeared!
I didn't.
Where'd it go, George?
noise, I'm going home.
Yeah, I didn't kill. My only guess is that maybe when he dashed back in his animation, he clipped into the incense pot and flung down into the ground.
You know what? I should have asked this far sooner. Are we gonna get any more Nightmare fuel like we did with the Centipede boss?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
It didn't. We almost had that earlier with her torso missing.
Oh
real
my
quick,
god,
true.
yes.
That was beautiful.
Was the Centipede boss in a part I wasn't in? Because I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was just James and Jordy and I in that one part.
Okay.
It's the part where literally, we're like out of nowhere, like the thing's freaking legs or whatever just pops in all around Alice, and it was so sudden. It's like, oh god.
Well, because
Oh,
yeah,
this
it's
is
like,
already
because, yeah,
creepy. Oh, God.
it was terrifying because it was just suddenly a bunch of spindly legs, all pointy and jagged, that would appear, and because the camera has to be centered on you at all times, it would just suddenly fill the whole thing. It was very unnerving.
It was unnerving on a very similar level to that of Jago from I think that's his name from Rayman 2,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
where he's chasing after you in that sliding section.
Oh, jeez, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with that said, join us in the next part as we're going to be exploring the next leg of our journey up the mountain.
Oh boy.
Yay.
Till next time, guys.
Bye.
More nightmare fuel for everyone!
Yay.